Interviewer Tom Jones.
10 to 1 on, he won't be able to fill it in.
I want
10 to 1 on.
I want
The difference is now, of course, I mean, when this was presented, I mean, bowling greens were opening all over the city. Now they're closing because of the austerity. The council cutting back on everything. They don't get the grants from the government and so on. So we've lost a lot of bowling greens, and with them, of course, the membership as well. There's Manselton area had a bowling club, Ravenhill had a bowling green in this tower, Minnesbach. All these greens have unfortunately gone. You know, very sporting area, but very few sporting facilities. The one sporting facility was the bowling green. We played over there on the old football pitch. There was lumps of stone on it who fall down. Well, Ian knows, he's smiling, cut all the knees and the rest of it, get up, rub it off, and carry on playing. And also, Brian would remember that, we had a boxing club in the area. Yeah. Di Curvis, Cliff Curvis, and Brian, and Ken, the other son. He wasn't as good as Ken, wasn't as up to the quality of Brian, fought for a world title, and Cliff. But there's a boxing club here. Boys went there to box. The trouble was, when they came out, they kept on boxing. Yeah, we're a big sporting fraternity in this area.
And they used to have what was called the Eve of the Cup Final dance. And the night before the Cup Final, they would fill that place with local football people from Greenhill, from Dyfatty, Greenhill, and all these different areas. But they were all footballers, and they were all. It was a great community spirit. And they went there, and all they talked about was football. Football was a lifeblood here. Other than the bowls. The bowls was for the older fraternity. But all the kids, all they wanted to do here, if you was good enough to get in the St. Joseph side or North End side, you weren't a bad footballer. You done all right. I never got in either. And of course, going away from the bowls a little bit, on a Saturday night, the pubs used to shut at 10 o'clock. Well, in the summer, you talk about looking after kids the way they look after kids today. We didn't have to be looked after, we looked after ourselves. Well, my mother and father, they used to go to the Swan pub down by here. So on a Saturday night, we'd be playing in the street. We'd walk down the pub and walk back home with them. But then, all of a sudden, there would be a little bit of a disagreement, and on the old Dyfatty side, two fellas would square up, form a circle, let's go. And then there was no animosity. They shook hands, and if it wasn't finished, you go down on Sunday morning and finish it up.
Do you remember him, Brian? Remember the road, Kamal Road used to go that way, Lannaberry Street used to go that way? Yeah. Right in the middle there, there's a dairy.
Mary from the dairy.
Ivor Davis, the dairy, on his awesome cart.
Yeah, and Mary was a big girl, and she, I shouldn't say that, that's another she was a big fine girl.
Ivor, get in here!
Yeah.
He'd have his bag down, his little grill, no his coat, and he's at the dairy, and the horse be waiting patiently. Ivor, get in here! When Ivor went in, we'd have one away, we'd be gone. Drinking it over them, drinking it down. Pinch your pint in the car.
And then round the corner by here was Pinky Jenkins, who had a wholesale trade. Now, Pinky had a terrible reputation, he had a hell of a temper. If he didn't go out and have a fight on a Saturday night, he was miserable.
Well, he'd been a professional boxer, he had boxed professionally. And he fought Larry Gaines, who was a good fighter.
But the only one that used to handle him was his wife.
Yeah,
she was petrified of him.
She was bigger than him.
And if you can imagine, when they'd go and pick the fruit up in Covent Garden in London, no motorways, a rigid lorry, like 2 wheels in the front and 4 at the back, no power assisted steering.
Like
Mrs. Jenkins
would go to London.
She'd drive up to London and pick all the fruit up. And they had a garage, we can see it, well, the garage.
Swan Street, down Swan Street.
Just by her. And he had a garage at the back of their house. And she'd reverse in and unload all the gear there, and then Pinky, her husband, would go and deliver it to all the different shops and around the place. They were from by here, they were Dyfatty, they were Bowes people as well.
I worked for him, I was only a kid, he used to give me half a crown. All the streets used to come down.
Half a crown!
He'd park all the way up the top like that, of the streets, and he'd send me knocking it on. Veg from Mr. Jenkins.
Frankie Locke used to take it out at his house.
Frankie Locke, yeah. Well, Frankie used to come around rattling the plates, fish alive.
Yeah.
he'd come behind us. Well, he's only a guy, I remember him. He'd be rattling his plates, Pershall, oh, Frankie Lock.
What about the guy in Dyfatty? And his name was Mr. Guy.
Bob Guy.
And he used to the vinegar.
Vinegar Bob. That's what we called him, Vinegar Bob.
He had a little truck which was a three-wheeler, and he'd go around, and I never forget it. He used to shout, vinegar! And he had the worst voice you've ever done. He was
Vinegar Bob,
vinegar! And Parazone. And he'd go down the house and say, vinegar and Parazone.
Do you remember this? Do you remember this? Watch this now. Watch this now. Watch this.
It's going to be a joke at the end.
Oh, it's not a joke. Do you remember this?
Oh, I know. Willie Willard, the barber.
Oh, what's wrong?
And the barber.
He'd go. He's had the gammy legs, see?
He had one leg.
He wore the line out.
Yeah.
He wore like a stew. He'd go missing for 3 hours. Yeah. Then he'd come back. Then he'd go missing for another 2 hours. He's in 9 o'clock. He'd come out the 2 and
I always remember Tony Curtis was a famous actor and he had a mop of hair that you've never seen. And my mate went into Willie Willard and he said, can I have a Tony Curtis please? It took him 3 hours and when he finished, my mate looked in the mirror, he never had no hair on his head. He said, Willie, he said, I wanted a Tony Curtis. He said, if Tony Curtis come in here, that's what he'd have.
My first job was down the dock with my uncle, Jack, which is a photo on there. I'd come down, stand by the bus stop, for a bus down to the museum. If the boy who was working with me got there first, I'd jump in the van with him. If not, I'd get on the bus. We'd go down to the Arches then, 54 Harbour Road. They'd be working there. There'd be the brewery, would be a bit further down with all the beer.
That's right.
And as you're talking about Wine Street, if my Uncle Jack wanted money or whatever, I'd have to walk up to Wine Street to one of the banks and get the money and then walk back down. And he ended up, Jackie is a scrap merchant, he took the railway station down, cut it all up, you know, when it was changing. And there used to be a cafe opposite the entrance, the Orders.
Orders, yeah, I remember Orders.
A cup of tea and a bit of cheese, one and a bitter.
Yeah, and a bitter, yeah.
One and a bitter, go up, they say, send me up, go and get a can of tea and a couple of pieces of toast and 2 bitters, 2 pieces of cheese.
How things had changed. I can remember before the National Health Service came, I can remember my brother, he was sickly as a child, and he was taken ill, and Dr. Shipko couldn't come, so Dr. Harrington came. He had a practice up higher up.
No, they came from Ireland.
Dr. Harrington's uncle was a Jesuit priest in St. Joseph's Church. He was the canon there. When Dr. Harrington came, it was counted as a home visit. And for that, my grandmother had to pay 10 shillings to the doctor's woman who came to collect the money. So when the National Health Service came in, that was a tremendous boon, wasn't it? For people didn't have to pay anymore. You know, because my grandmother and mother put me and my brother in penny insurance policies.
Well, I remember my mother doing that for all of us.
That's right.
A penny.
That's right. Everybody was terrified of illness and people dying, and how are they going to pay for the bloody funeral? You know, so the health service changed everything. People naturally became much more healthier, didn't they? You began to have family allowance and things of that nature, which you never had before. They say in many ways, we as boys, you know, we're looking back and then we had a good childhood because look at the play we had. We had the massive beach. Where else, you know, we got something like that. we were over the docks of the ships. We seen ships sail all over the world, weren't they? We had 5 banana boats coming in here in those days, you know. You could get a passage there and go to Venezuela, you know. And some people did and never came back.
You reckon Swansea was a bit...
they did bomb later, mind, in the war.
Oh, yeah,
but that was a continuous 3 nights of,
you
know. That was tremendous.
That's what you want to do, the docks there.
Churchill was saying one day, we can take it. People were saying, we bloody well can't take it much longer. No. You know, it was 3 nights, and there wasn't a gun in the town. That was the whole problem. They had guns then down from Cardiff, because they bombed uninterrupted without a shot being fired.
Yeah. I'm sitting here now and I am a little laugh to myself when I think about it. When I was about 16, 17, 18, I'd sit in a room with people like this and they'd all talk like we're talking now. And you'd think to yourself, you'd want to yawn, you'd want to go to sleep. And you'd think to yourself, well, as soon as this finishes now we can go and do what we got to do. When I think back on it, I wish I'd have listened more to them, because they were all talking the truth. And it's what happened. We were better off for it, I think. I think it was a bit, I know we had nothing, but it was a better generation.
I'm going to sing a song with a lady called Wonder of You Well.
Lovely.
And he knows what
am I feeling?
Let me check it off.
Go for it, Don.
In the background.
When no one else can understand me. Oh, everything I do is wrong. You give me hope and consolation. You give me strength to carry on. And you're always there to lend a hand in everything I do. That's a wonder, the wonder of you. Da, da, da. And when you smile, you touch my hand, I'm a king. You sweet me with a fortune. Your love for me is everything. I never know the reason why you love me like you do. That's the wonder of you. Tom Jones.
10 to 1 on, he won't be able to fill it in.
I want
10 to 1 on.
I want the we don't so all we used to do is rob.